Hello and welcome. I'd like to welcome you to Case Management and Relapse Prevention with Addiction Counseling. One of the first things I want to go over with you today is case management in the field of addiction counseling. Give you a brief overview of that. I worked with the TASK program for several years, which is treatment alternatives for safer communities at this point. When I worked for it, it was treatment alternatives for street crime. And in that program, we provided case management for criminal justice offenders who were coming out of either the criminal justice system, such as coming out of prison or the jail system, or were on probation and parole. We provided case management services for them. Our program also provided them with intensive outpatient treatment, but the majority of TASK programs are a case management program only. And within this, we referred the clients to various resources. So case management actually provides kind of a continuum of treatment for the clients. It assists them in getting services with other providers. So we referred them for treatment with addiction counseling. We also referred them to vocational rehab to give them assistance with locating jobs. We assisted them in getting services with social services. Some of our clients needed assistance with housing, so we provided them with referrals there. Some of our clients needed referrals for childcare so that they could go back to work, and we provided them with assistance there. We also provided assistance with legal aid and getting back into school. We were lucky enough to have a day reporting center that was located within our facility. We also were housed with probation and parole. So in addition to providing them with assistance with all the other services, we were a go-between between them and the day reporting center, where they had to check in on a regular basis often, and with their probation and parole officers. Case management really provides a continuum of care, as I mentioned already, to give assistance to your clients, and it will help them in relapse prevention. We'll discuss that a little more in a video further on in the course. But let me go over some of the basics. So case management offers a client a single point of entry into the system and gives them other opportunities to receive services. There will be, as I mentioned, case services with various providers in the community. These could be anything from vocational rehab, as I already stated, to just getting them assistance maybe with food stamps or getting them bus tickets, something to help them with their transportation needs. Case management is client driven, so you're going to need to assess your client to see what services they do need, what other options are available to them. You're going to have to do an evaluation with them, maybe a screening process, put that in place within the service that you work, the agency that you work, that's going to do an overview of what types of services they're going to need. Case management is also going to involve advocacy. You need to advocate for your client. As I said, we were a go-between a lot of times to our client in probation parole with the criminal justice system, and we were there to advocate for their needs when we talked with the probation and the parole officers. So not only did we work to assist probation and parole, but a lot of times we advocated for our clients. There were times when probation and parole officers would come to me and say, I think this individual needs to be locked up because they continue to use. And I would say, let's give them another chance. Maybe the level of treatment that they're in right now isn't enough for them, and we can put them in a more restrictive environment, go from just regular outpatient to intensive outpatient, and that may be the extra push that they need to remain clean and sober. It could also require maybe inpatient. So maybe the outpatient services aren't working, but I would advocate for them to get a chance for inpatient care. So you're going to need to advocate for your clients in addition. Case management is also community-based. What services are available within the community? It's important to have a resource list available so that you know what there is within your community. I always had what the library had actually put together for our area. It was called the Answer Book. And this listed all kinds of different resources in our area. If you don't have such a thing, I recommend you put one together. Start a notebook of all the various agencies that you've got open to you that will be able to assist your clients. So put together your own answer book. Where can I get my client assistance with housing? Where can I get them assistance with job opportunities? Where can I get them a physical? Because a lot of times our clients don't have that available to them. Where may I be able to refer them to so that they can get clothing, suits, outfits to go on job interviews for? These are all things that you need to be thinking through so that you're best able to assist your clients. So it's great that you've got them hooked up with vocational rehab to get a job interview, but if they don't have the clothing to go on the job interview, that's not going to go very far for them. Oftentimes, like I said, also, how are they going to get maybe their medical needs met? We had wonderful clinics within the town that I was in that provided services pro bono. They had a dentist that would come in at least once or twice a month to provide services pro bono for individuals who weren't able to pay. But these are all services that you're going to have to look for within your community to see what is available. In addition to being community-based, case management is also pragmatic. You have to ensure that it's beginning where the client actually is. Start from what point they're at. Don't go too far ahead. Maybe you're getting too advanced, too far ahead of what their needs are. So start where they're at and then build up to some of their additional needs. But meet them where they're at right now. Case management, though, is anticipatory, so you have to be thinking ahead to what they will need in the future. You also have to be flexible with case management. It will change. It can change on a weekly basis. Although they may need one thing today, tomorrow they may come in and need something totally different. So everything seems to be going pretty well for them today, but tomorrow they may come in crisis because their electricity's been turned off and they need assistance getting emergency funds in order to have their electricity turned back on. Or maybe they need emergency funds because one of their children has become sick. So again, you have to be flexible with what's going on with your client in case management and able to find resources and opportunities for them to meet their needs. Case management is also culturally sensitive. So make sure that you're making accommodations for diversity, for their race, for their gender, for their ethnicity, for sexual orientation, and also even the life stage that they're in. Someone who's a 20-year-old is going to have different case management needs than someone who's in their 60s or 70s. Be aware of that. A female is going to have different case management needs than a male is going to have. The majority of my female clients were a lot of single mothers, so they had childcare concerns, whereas not as many of my male clients were single dads. So I had to be aware of that when I was providing services for my female clients, that they may need childcare in place in order for them to attend even their substance abuse classes or groups or treatment. How could I assist them in getting childcare put into place so that they were able to come to treatment? Also, some competencies that need to be in place for you as a case manager are going to include understanding a variety of models and theories of addiction. Although you may not be a therapist, you may just practice in the area of case management, so you may not actually be a counselor or therapist. You still need to know the models and the theories that fall behind addiction counseling or addiction itself, because you will be working with individuals who do have addictions. You need to have the ability to describe the philosophies, the practices, the policies, and the outcomes of addiction and addiction counseling. You need to recognize the importance of the role of family, social networks, and community when it comes to treatment in the recovery process. You need to also understand the variety of insurance and health maintenance options that are available, or even their importance in helping your clients to access those benefits. Also understand diverse cultures and incorporate the relevant needs of ethnicity into the treatment process. Figure out what different ethnicities, cultures, even religious groups you're going to be working with regularly, and get a better understanding of their backgrounds, their values, their norms. You also need to understand the value of an interdisciplinary practice when it comes to addiction treatment. So not only are there going to be case managers and counselors involved, but there may be psychiatrists, psychologists involved. Like I've already stated, you may have probation officers, parole officers involved. There's also going to oftentimes be sponsors for AA or NA that are involved with the recovery process of your client. There's going to be family members and support from the community involved with your individuals, and based even on their ethnicity or their beliefs, their family may be much more than blood relatives. So be aware of who all is going to be involved in your client's recovery and who all may be able to assist with case management with them. It's important to be able to assist your client with developing their treatment plan. Although you may not create the treatment plan with them, as a case manager, you want to help your client to be successful with their treatment plan. So that's another area that you want to focus on when it comes to case management, is understanding what your client's treatment plan is and help them put steps into place to achieve and be successful with that treatment plan. So you're going to assist with service coordination there and helping them to even maybe get to their treatment appointments, to get their group appointments. You know, what can you do in order to help them to achieve those goals? You also want to consider that you will be consulting a lot of times with their treatment providers. You'll be consulting with probation, parole officers. You'll be consulting maybe with any social service providers that are involved. You may also be involved with consulting with social service agents that are working with your clients. So there's all different aspects of the consulting part that you're going to have to interact with other individuals in order to get information that's going to help you, again, aid your client to be more successful. So substance abuse care and being a case manager in substance abuse care is a continuum of care. It's not going to finish quickly. You may be with this client for 3, 6, 9, 12 months because substance abuse treatment is not fast. A lot of individuals start out in treatment and are there for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And during that time, you're going to assist them to be successful in their recovery. So you will see a continuation of care with them from, especially if they're going through inpatient. They may come to you after inpatient and move into intensive outpatient. You may even guide them through inpatient and be a case manager with them there, and then watch them move into intensive outpatient. Then they may move into maintenance outpatient and aftercare. And throughout all that period of time, you're continuing to follow them and give them guidance and assistance. And your goals in case management with them, although they're not going to be treatment goals, there will be goals set with them to help them to achieve their recovery. So as I've already noted, those will be amenable to the different stages that the client is at the time. At this point, do they need assistance in getting to AA-NA meetings? Do they need assistance in figuring out how to get a sponsor? Do they need assistance in getting to vocational rehab? As they progress through treatment, the case management goals are going to change, just as they do in treatment. So it is essential that you continue to develop the goals with them, you review the case management goals with them, and add on or complete the goals. If the goal's completed, then that one's finished out, and continue to add on goals as they become appropriate. I want to encourage all of you just to stay conscious of the fact that listen to your clients, listen to what they're telling you. It is important that we sit with open hands with our clients and we embrace what they're telling us. If something doesn't seem to be working for them, don't get disheartened. Maybe it's just a change of direction that they need to go in at this time. And again, they're going to come in with a lot of needs. These are individuals that may not have been managing their life very well up until this point because they've been working through addiction. They may not know how to pay their bills. They may not have had bills before. They may not realize how to keep a bank account, how to manage their money even. So what seems to be common knowledge to us and work on a day-to-day basis for us, just daily living activities, may not be common knowledge to them. If you consider the fact that maybe some of your clients will be incarcerated for many years, that's become a very comfortable location for them. They are not as comfortable in the real world, where now they have to figure out how to get to the grocery store, how to get groceries, how to cook them. Because when they're incarcerated, that food's provided for them. Someone else goes and buys that food for them to eat. Someone else cooks that food for them. Now they have to figure all that out for themselves. So what seems very basic to you and I isn't going to be basic to them if they've been incarcerated for any period of time. Again, some of our clients will not have been. Some of them may not even be within the criminal justice system. But those are just some things to consider. Even if they haven't been within the criminal justice system, if they've been using for any period of time, they probably haven't been involved working through activities of daily living. They haven't been concerned with getting up and getting to work on time. They haven't been concerned with keeping enough of a wardrobe to work at a job. Even just the washing and cleaning of clothes can seem overwhelming when it's something you haven't done on a regular basis. So the activities of daily living may even be an aspect you need to go over with them. Getting from here to there. If they're used to walking everywhere, then how am I going to get several miles away instead of just down the street is going to be something you're going to need to go over with them. Getting them bus passes, getting them assistance with how to get to their treatment program, how to get to job interviews, how to even go on a job interview. If that's not something they've ever done before, this is something you may need to work with them on and role play with them. You play the employer and they role play it with you. It's a great way to get them ready to go on job interviews. Again, you can do a referral to vocational rehab and they'll work with them also on this, but it's not a bad thing to be doing with them in case management too. So I just want to encourage you to reach out to your clients, embrace them, sit with open hands. They're going to need someone who's accepting of them and accepting of them where they're at. Just consider the fact that no matter where we're at in our life, that the Lord and Jesus Christ accept us for who we are and where we are at any given time. They don't try to change us at that moment. Yes, they want us to change and they're there with us to change because they want us to become more Christ-like, but they don't expect it to happen overnight. And we can't expect that with our clients either. We love them and we embrace them and we want to be there to guide them. Come alongside them and guide them. You want to be the guide alongside, you don't want to be the sage on the stage, okay? So come alongside them and guide them. I wish the best to all of you. This course is going to be exciting and I hope that you learned so much from it. So God bless and I'll see you on the next video.